But I do hear Katu coming back.
What up, dog?
You missed the whole game.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, when I say I go get Kleenex, I also mean, like, I'm getting water, I'm going to the bathroom, I figure I'm going to do everything. So what did I miss?
T-Gun tried the Baneling bust. Daisy scouted it. Did some amazing reaction time where he, like, put his probe in the small wall. And, like, when the Zerglings went to kill the probe, he dropped a pylon before it could die, so he, like, completed his wall.
Easy peasy.
And it was like, yeah, it was good defense. So now T-Gun picks Metalopolis, and the question I was asking is Daisy going to risk another Forge Fast expand? Is he going to be the Naniwa of the Playhem tournament?
I don't know. I mean, even if he is, on Metalopolis, like, it's not the worst Forge Fast expand map in the world.
Yeah, but if you know your opponent's already all-in'd you twice, this is definitely the worst map of the three we've played on to do a Forge Fast expand. So,
but in his defense, I mean, he did it on Chikuris, bad Z map. He did it on Tal'Darim, which is a decent Z map, but it's also a metagame to go for an all-in because it's such a big map. Right? So I feel like T-Gun really is just trying to counter metagame. And so that's what Niromod here should expect, is a counter metagame play.
T-Gun even saying, Forge expand, bad idea in the chat. So, you're right. It could be a metagame play. It could be that T-Gun is one of the players who just, like Leenock, does not want to play a macro game versus a Forge Fast expand. There are Zergs that just say, no, won't do it. I'm all-inning you if you Forge Fast to expand. And it can be a valid strat. I mean, we saw Leenock win MLG with it. And, not all of Leenock's builds were complete all-ins, but, they're just Zergs who think that way, and in some ways I don't blame them. Forge Fast expand is so deadly.
It is pretty good, but guys, we are going into game number 3. These are the semifinals. Whoever wins this is going on into the grand final. Don't go anywhere. We got more Playhem action coming your way.
I was dropped. Uh-oh.
I was dropped as well.
So okay,
easy
good.
Peasy.
They have to start over then? They can't play without you?
Nope. No, everyone was dropped. Daisy was dropped before I was, and T-Gun was lagging.
Oh, okay.
And then I was dropped. So we'll just remake. Easy peasy. And everyone's going to be pretty happy. It means they didn't miss anything.
Yay, everybody's happy. I'm happy. Maybe T-Gun found out it was cross spawn. I was like, gah! Or found out it was close spawn. I was like, no. Alright. I was going to laugh so hard if Luca really trolled him. I was like, sorry, you're out of the tournament, man, DC. No, you're out. So brutal.
Rules are rules, right?
Rules are rules.
Rules are rules.
That's all you got to say. Rules are rules.
Rules are rules. Rules are
Rules
rules.
are rules.
Rules are rules.
Rules are rules.
Rules are rules.
Wow. Wow. You can't argue with that.
Rules are rules.
Yeah, you're just like, what do you say? You're like, okay.
Sorry. Rules are rules.
Sorry, guys. Rules are rules. Here we go, though, in the semifinals, which we are, making an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Normally when you DC.
Well, luckily T-Gun, he does help out, everyone at Playhem. He's got very talented hands.
Yeah. T-Gun is the best. Great guy. Super nice, super friendly.
So generous.
Yes. And we do see, look at this, Daisy going for the Forge Fast expand.
Even now, after T-Gun said it was bad.
I know. So the thing is, okay, I want your prediction. T-Gun, is he all-inning?
What, right now? Is he going to?
Is he not going to take a third base? How about that?
I don't know, man. T-Gun is your friend. I don't know. I actually haven't seen much of T-Gun's play at all.
Oh.
And since I missed that last game, it means that I've officially seen one game of T-Gun's where he all-in'd. So I'll say,
Fair
okay,
enough.
yes, he is going to... No. You know what? I take it back. He's not going to all-in. Because Metalopolis is just too good a map for Ling Mu to play.
Fair enough. It is a great map for Ling Muta, even when your opponent Forge Fast expands. I mean, that does open you up to, like, some 6-gate timings where you're like, I'm going to save all my money for Mutalisks, and then they hit you right before the Mutas come.
Yep.
So, you have to be careful with your scouting, but Ling Muta is still so strong. And, T-Gun probably wouldn't want me saying I'm his friend. I met him once, and we talked. So, that's the extent of my friendship with T-Gun, but great guy. It's going to be interesting, though. He has all in twice, so Daisy's going to be on the lookout for that. That's one thing I can be sure of. He is going to try to hide more than one probe on the map to try to get this scout off like he did on Tal'Darim Altar, because it saved his life on Tal'Darim Altar. So, it's going to be interesting to see what T-Gun has up his sleeve here. We've seen a Baneling bust. We've seen a Nidus Worm. Does he have any more tricks, or is he just going to play standard?
Well, you know what? I mean, Gosu picked him up, so the fact that he's all-inning, not too surprising, right?
Well, yeah, he is training with Huang Xin, so, could be.
I don't know, guys. Gosu, of course, is known for their, let's say, very timed aggression. That's the new politically correct term for cheese and all-in, is timed aggression. Because timing push even is now, not very acceptable. And look at that, he's getting his probe right back in there for the scout. And he does try to send out another probe, but an Overlord spots it here for T-Gun, so he's got to send it out another way.
Yeah, and he actually does that right away. Very smart on-the-fly thinking for him, because these Zerglings were going to come try to hunt it down. But, this is the first T-Gun gets to see this Forge Fast expand, is right now when these Lings come in. So it's going to be interesting to see if his build alters, or if he just goes with whatever plan he already had.
Yeah, it definitely will
Second
be.
probe coming in.
Yeah,
this is good.
Yeah, this is definitely great for Daisy, and he's not going to spawn anything, because right now T-Gun not mining any extra gas, and no matter what all-in you're going to be going for as a Zerg, you got to get gas versus a Forge Fast expand, because it's either going to be Banelings or Roaches. Meanwhile,
right.
We do
see taking the gold as T-Gun, so in a way this is almost a cheese, taking your third base in such a vulnerable position, but I actually love this play out of T-Gun. I think this is really smart on Metalopolis against the Forge Fast Expander.
We saw it almost every single game, actually. Any game where there was a gold base, we saw Zergs, Terrans, Protoss, whoever it was, just whatever, I'm going for the gold. Because if you get it, it's a guaranteed win, and if you lose it, it's not necessarily a guaranteed loss.
Yeah, it's so true. It's one of those risk-reward things. I mean, there is some risk to it, definitely. Losing it can put you behind. But against the Forge Fast Expand, you have the time to take your third. On so many other maps, we see them just taking the natural third, or doing, you take a third, and we saw Clash Presto try to do it. But when you take a third on the gold base, that's like taking a base and a half. And, oh, look at this. Daisy scouts it almost immediately. That is huge. Daisy, he's in Korea, and this is a very Korean thing to do. I saw DRG do it. I saw a couple of the Zergs do it in MLG. So he's going to know how to deal with this, and it's going to be interesting to see where this probe goes and what it builds.
It's just trying to hide itself for now. He wants to be able to get a proxy pylon down, and meanwhile, though, he's just getting his warp gate research done, and we're going to have to see if he decides to add on some extra gateways, and there they are.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be, how many gateways does he drop here? Is it going to be 4, or is he going to go all the way up to 6? And, oh, look at that Overlord timing by T-Gun. He is going to get a good read on what's going on here. 4 gates, we could see a very similar Zealot timing that we saw. What's that earlier? What's that?
What's that?
Niromod?
Yeah,
did it against Presto?
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
So we are probably going to see that early Zealot +1 timing, and +1 actually making those Zealots devastating. Ton of Chrono Boost dropped on the Warp Gate and on additional units, so I think that's a good response. But look at this, T-Gun already getting 2 Spine Crawlers at his third. If these Zealots don't get there jiffy quick, they're going to have a hard time breaking this.
I mean, yeah, the +1 is pretty huge, and Spine Crawlers aren't as good as Zealots as you might think. They're mostly the best against Stalkers, against Sentries especially. That's usually why you get the Spine Crawlers. And here comes the pylon from Daisy. But yeah, they definitely will help. He'll still need to get quite a few units out, though, and 10, 12, make that 18 Lings on the way in total. So I think he might be able to hold this.
Yeah, I would say Spine Crawlers are really good against Zealots if you have other units to prevent the Zealots from getting a surround on them. And so it's really going to depend if these Lings get up here. And, oh, wow, perfect timing. But he also pulls the drone. I love this, surrounding the Spine Crawlers so the Zealots can't get the surround. Makes it so much more devastating. But, man, +1 Zealots do a ton of damage. T-Gun might lose this expansion.
Zealots are just too good, man.
Oh, this is dirty.
Look at
this. He is
this.
morphing in Banelings, though.
Yeah, there they are, the 6 Banelings coming in, and it does take 5 Banelings to kill Zealots, and if they're just too clumped up here, they're going to take so much extra damage, and look at that, he is not letting them explode on just one Zealot. He's trying to hit the splash damage there. Meanwhile, Daisy was actually trying to split his Zealots, and it just didn't work out too well. So far, he's only killed 3, and I say 3 drones. That is absolutely fantastic here for T-Gun so far. Look at these drones, man, so many of them in the red, in the orange, and he's going to be able to kill off that last Zealot, but now he's got to make his drones run. His next Zerglings have only just come in, and he really wants to start juking in and out. And there you go, a ton more Zerglings. He'll be able to take these on now.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing, he's making Daisy commit a lot more to this than he wanted to. This is almost turning into an all-in from Daisy. But both of these players with exceptional micro. Like you said, that Baneling micro was incredible. And here we go again, more Banelings coming in. Zealot's trying to deal with these Zerglings, but I think there are just too many now. Another Warpin from Daisy, but I think at this point, T-Gun's held it. Yeah,
now there's Banelings. So these Banelings are going to go in here. They're going to try to do their splash damage versus those Zealots. But some nice splitting there by Daisy. Great job. But you know what? Even though he splits and negates a lot of the splash damage from Banelings, it means that the Zerglings can get a full surround on him.
Right.
And +1 is now done for the Zerglings as well. So down goes the Prog Spawn. This is the last chance here for Daisy to do some damage. And meanwhile, he does have a Robotics Bay up, so he's going to start producing those all-important Colossus from the Robotics facility. And that's definitely not bad, but at the same time, he has no Gateway Army at all to actually protect them.
Yeah, this is so true. Although it kind of reminds me of that build Naniwa did, where he did like that 8-gate single Colossus all in. And you're right, he has no Gateway Army, but if he can get one up, I mean, T-Gun here on 4 bases, one of which is the gold, but he doesn't actually have any tech that can even come close to dealing with Colossus right now. I mean, he is going to go for the Speedling attack, though, which could do a good bit of damage. Actually, never mind, there are 4 sentries.
Yeah, too many sentries.
Daisy should be fine. So I think the race is going to be, can T-Gun get the acceptable tech up to deal with Colossus before this all-in comes?
Well, he does have drop, and we see him loading up a ton of Banelings into drops. So you know what he can do? He can actually just fly right into the natural here and just drop on the sentries, and then all of a sudden these +1 lings are going to be able to just swarm in and do so much damage.
That is so true, my friend. Baneling drops, still an underused tool, absolutely deadly when in the right hands. No amount of splitting can save a Protoss sometimes. So, yeah, can't wait to see this.
But the Observer of Daisy does come in and spot it, so what is his reaction here? He is starting to actually move out. That is very interesting here. Going to be pretty tricky for Daisy to deal with this. Oh man, can T-Gun get those money drops on top of the Sentry Zealot clump here?
Yeah, I love this too. T-Gun is actually splitting in the 2 things. He's going to drop some Zerglings in the main when he goes for this engagement. But man, here we go. Just going straight for this gold base as Daisy. I don't know if this is going to work.
I really don't think it will, man, because Stalkers and Colossus actually not that great against Zerglings unless they're force-fielded onto that Zelnaga tower. So many of them getting taken down, but there's just so many still left alive.